I'll never listen to that song again the same way. Holy fuck, we were fucking assholes. I swear America was a piece of shit. America is this little piece of shit anyway. Hello there, CriterioNate here. Number 471, Pigs, Pimps, and Prostitutes. 3 films by Shohei Imamura, Part 1. Number 472, Shohei Imamura's, look at this, Pigs and Battleships. There, Pigs and Battleships. 1961, 108 minutes, black and white, mono in Japanese with optional English subtitles, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so, Imamura. Have never been a fan of this dude. We've only seen 2 of his movies so far. Pornographers, which I didn't like, and Vengeance is Mine, which I can't remember. This one was okay, up until like the last half. The last half of it, after the second half of the film, I kind of just checked out. Well, I didn't check out, but I just, what happened was I thought it was a little fucked up, the ending. Yeah, so anyway, it's still probably the best one of the 3 we've seen. This is the best. I think the character of Kinta is entertaining to watch, and he reminds me a lot of Vida's, the lead actor in Ashes and Diamonds, the kind of the punk with a gun and the jacket and all that, very cool kind of looking guy, So anyway, plot. Kinta is this guy who works for the mob. It's set in post-war Japan, and there were a lot of still American soldiers still, I guess, in Japan. Because of that, I guess the Yakuza were on the rise, the Japanese mob, and Kinta works for a member of the Yakuza, the Himori Yakuza, and he works as part of the pork distribution, henceforth part of the name Pigs. And he has a girlfriend named Haruko. She works at a bar, and they work together, and one day he finds out that Haruko is pregnant, and she wants to get an abortion, and he's I guess on the fence of it. Anyway, one night, one of the gangsters calls on Kinta to help bury the body of a guy that they murdered. And so they threw him overboard. However, later on, the body ends up showing up, and they want Kinta to be the fall guy. And so, he kind of agrees to it, but however, I guess his father ends up finding out about it, and they fight and all that, and Haruko really wants him out. He wants him away from the gang and all that. And later on, when they get the body, and one of the gangsters ends up having to burying it on the pig farm where Kinta, that Kinta's, I guess, in charge of. And later on, the big boss, Tetsuji, ends up having a party, and it's revealed that the guy who was ordered to bury the body ended up getting lazy and ended up cooking it and putting it into the pig's food. So they're basically eating the dead body, and because the pigs ate the body. So Tetsuji ends up getting really sick and is told that he only has 3 days to live. And so Kinta ends up getting frustrated and taking it out on Haruko. Haruko gets frustrated and threatens to go become a prostitute, and Kenta says, "Oh yeah, I'll be your pimp," and all that. And anyway, eventually Haruko ends up going to see these, spending the night with these soldiers. However, she ends up having a change of heart and trying to leave. However, the soldiers trap her and rape her. And in the morning, she ends up trying to run away with their money, and steals their money, and she ends up getting caught and arrested. When she's released, her family ends up getting back in touch with her and forces her into a arranged marriage with an American named Mr. Gordon. She still has feelings for Kinta, even though he's basically kind of a screw up and he won't, stay away from the mob. And they agree to run away after Kinta does one last job with the pigs, dropping off these pigs. However, it's complicated when they end up getting into a car accident or something, or they end up blocking the road, and the police come by, and they end up making a deal where I guess Kinta ends up becoming the fall guy for the murder of the body, because I guess the police are still investigating it. However, this time Kinta hasn't had enough, and he pulls out this this gun that he finds in one of the trucks, because he was kidnapped and thrown into the trucks with the pigs. He ends up he ends up opening fire on the crowd, and in a very memorable scene, he ends up releasing all the pigs, and they end up coming out of the truck and crushing a lot of the people to death. Kinta ends up getting shot, and his boss ends up coming out. He finds that his boss, Tetsuji, ends up finding out that he actually just had an ulcer and he's still going to live, which complicates the fact that he had paid a guy another gangster named Wang to kill him at some point without telling him. And he had paid him. However, the money turns out to be counterfeit. So he's not gonna. So Wang catches up with him, not knowing that Tetsuji's money was counterfeit and all that. Anyway, Kenta gets shot and ends up trying to make it through, and Haruko is still waiting at the train station for him. She finds out that the mob was in town. She realizes that he probably was in it, and she runs into town, tries to find Kinta, and she finds him. However, by this point he's dead. And sometime later, her family forces her back into the arranged marriage, and as she's going off to marry him, she ends up running away from them, and that's the end of the movie. So, a very interesting work. I can draw parallelisms to movies like Crazed Fruit, one of my favorites. I love the modernism side of the movies with young people, and I really like Kenta's attitude. I like the way that was displayed, and even Haruko's attitude too. Although I think, obviously, I think, the fact that she got raped was, a little, I mean, it's not very graphic, but you kind of have to infer that, it happened. But the fact that she got raped by, American soldiers, yikes, I mean, it happened, sadly, but it's one of those hard pills to swallow, that we were, that American soldiers were basically shitheads, But, again, there it is. Anyway, still, Imamura did a decent movie. It definitely has touches of his film. I feel like a lot of his cinematography, the cinematography that he used in movies like The Pornographers and Vengeance is Mine, is present in here, such as the scene where Haruko is chased around in the hotel room by the American soldiers. We see the shot from above, and it spins every once in a while, and then eventually when she's caught, it spins out of control, and then the next thing we'll see, it stops, and it's the morning after, and she's laying on the bed, passed out, and all that. So, again, cinematography-wise, it's a really trippy movie, and Imamura does a really interesting job with that kind of stuff. Again, rape scene was a little hard to take in, but outside of that, not a bad film. Not too bad of a film. Again, the second half was a little rough to think about, and a little confusing in places too. But overall, the movie was, again, I can't give it too bad of a rating. I'll give it a B plus. Yeah, I'll give it a B plus. I think again, Kenta, the actor, Hiroyuki Nagato, and I wonder if he's been in anything else. Has he been in anything else we've seen? He's in The Insect Woman. Okay, so he's in the next movie that we'll be seeing tomorrow. And I don't think there's anything else nothing else we've seen. So, but he has been in a couple of other Imamura movies like My Second Brother I guess that's the only other one I see. So he wasn't unfamiliar to Imamura, but yeah, there you are. Anyway, so Pigs and Battleships, B plus, not bad, but a little difficult for the American. The American occupation was a little tough to realize, how big idiots we were. Anyway, two supplements. There's a film, a show, an episode of the French cinema show Cinéma de Notre Temps called Imamura, the Free Thinker, which was released in 1995, about, I think, 12 years before his death, I think. In an interview with Tony Raines, who's a critic, and that's basically it. So, Pigs and Battleships, B+, there you go. Tomorrow, more of the same. The next one is set, The Insect Woman. And then Saturday, we'll do Intentions of Murder. And that'll be that. So, yep. So, anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't rape people. And don't let the pigs run free. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow for part 2 of Pigs, Pimps, and Battleships. The Insect Woman. There's the disc. The Insect Woman. Yeah. It's like I like having them all in one set, but I wish I could show you each cover. But anyway, there you go. Anyway, until then, goodbye.